guys, so in this one today, I've had requests for some explanations of the golden child and if the son in the relationship is the golden child and the narcissistic mother. I had to do some research on this because I'm still trying to figure this all out, but basically, in a nutshell, if the son is the golden child, and that's the role they have in relationship to his mother, the mother puts this son on a pedestal, and basically everything they do is amazing and perfect, and this child is like thinks that they have to be perfect, and they're given a lot of approval based on performance. The mother sees this son as an extension of herself, and she uses this son for her emotional sort of well-being instead of like an appropriate way, which would be with her spouse or in another way. But sometimes it's because that mother isn't getting what she needs emotionally from the spouse, so she sort of uses the golden child son as a surrogate spouse emotionally. In some of the literature, they call this emotional incest. It has nothing to do with actual sex or anything like that, but it's emotional incest. So the golden child, it has all this pressure to be perfect and to perform and to be the sort of emotional spouse to the mother, which is inappropriate, for a child, right? So, you'll see this, what you'll see in the relationship is a mother might be like, what's not to love? He's perfect. Everything he does is just amazing. And so what can happen, this is like a toxic bond between a mother and her son. And then as the son grows up, he still has this sort of toxic bond. Even if the mother passes away and she isn't even living anymore, they still can have this sort of relationship, or this toxic relationship where everything that son does is all about performing perfection so that he can win the mother's approval. And in life, how that manifests when they grow up is trying to seek approval from women, right? So needing validation, needing approval to sort of get that unconditional, or try to get that unconditional love that they never got from their mother. Instead, all of the love was conditional, and it wasn't love, it was like approval based on performance, right? So you'll see that if they marry, their spouse often will become actually the recipient of their rage that they actually have for their mother, because they'll never act out on that with their mother, because internally there's still that little boy that's afraid of their mother and afraid of losing their mother's approval, right? So the rage is never going to go towards the mother. It's going to go towards whatever the female is that's the significant other in that golden child's life, right? And sometimes that rage can be totally silent rage. It doesn't mean that they're actually verbally or physically acting out in rage. It can be just this silent scorn, and that son can be projecting all of the negative feelings that he has against his mother onto his spouse. So the spouse actually becomes, or can become, the scapegoat in these relationships, and the recipient of all that hidden rage that the son has towards his actual mother. And sometimes, this is totally unexamined in the golden child, who often becomes a narcissist or has like very narcissistic traits. This is all unexamined. This is all sort of at the subconscious level. This is all kind of sort of acting out without the narcissistic golden child or son being able to self-reflect, analyze, look inside and figure out that this is actually what's happening. All this rage that he's feeling against his spouse is actually misdirected rage, that it's projecting it on the spouse, making that spouse the scapegoat, or that significant other the scapegoat, rather than dealing with the real issue, which is that this son has this rage against his mother for not meeting his emotional needs, and for placing him in a position of forcing him to be perfect, and forcing him to be any attention he got was based on his ability to perform perfection, and it was all conditional. Everything was based on, how he made the mother look. If he made her look good, excellent. Everything was based on him making her look like an amazing mother, right? So this is sort of complicated. This is just some of the information. I'm going to do some more research. This is sort of preliminary, but that's what I've read and what I understand about, if the child happens to be sort of the golden child in the family dynamic with the mother. So I hope this helps you. And again, I really believe that there is help for narcissism. I know that this goes against a lot of what the psychologists believe, but I think I've seen people get a lot of help for it in the context of 12-step recovery and sort of spiritual work. I think that you can never ignore the spiritual side of things. And, I've seen people be able to face their demons, do some work and introspection, and, deal with those emotional wounds and those attachment wounds that are from childhood. I think that there is absolutely help if the person is willing. Problem with the narcissist is, unfortunately, quite often they're not willing because this personality structure and defense mechanism is so strong that they cannot acknowledge that they're less than perfect, because if they acknowledge that they need help, outside help, like therapy or 12-step recovery or some sort of help or spiritual help, then they are acknowledging that they're less than perfect. And for them to acknowledge they're less than perfect is the shattering blow to their already very fragile ego, and they just can't handle it. They just can't take it. So yeah, that's unfortunate that they may not get the help they need because they're unwilling to look inside. So I hope this helps you guys, and I hope you have a great day. Thanks. Bye.